Sorry, y'all. I was like debating on whether I wanted to do like. Usually I use orange, but I decided. I actually don't know why I decided this, but I decided to use like burnt umber and titanium white. I low-key wish I had a huge tube of like burnt sienna. I just feel like that would eat, but I kind of wanted to see what the outcome would look like if I used burnt umber for my underpainting. I mean, I've done it with oil, but that was only when I was doing like a, what was it? I don't remember what the technique is called. I'm like blanking on it. Oh, the glazing method. I remember. Okay, that's when I used like burnt umber as like an underpainting. So I'm doing it again just to kind of see what the outcome is going to be like. And then also, if anybody was tuned into my live stream last night, well, low-key was early this morning, but the jet lag is really bad. Okay, so I got this like Tamagotchi thing in Japan, and this is like kind of like a little close-up. It actually finally hatched. I was like doing something wrong. Low-key, they're kind of chopped, but it's fine. But basically, when I was like waiting for it to hatch last night, I didn't realize I was supposed to set the time, I guess. So yeah, I like unmuted it. It was being very annoying last night. But yeah, so I just have someone with me, I guess, to watch while I paint. Yeah, it should just be like a pretty chill like stream. I thought it was very funny. So my sister texted me this morning and she's like, "Oh, so you're a streamer now?" I'm like, "Girl, mind your business." I told her that I was gonna block her. I'm not actually gonna block her. Oh wait, I hope she's not watching this, because if she is watching this, girl, I'm gonna block you. But between you and me, I'm not gonna block her. I keep threatening her that I'm gonna block her because she keeps lurking on my YouTube channel and be like, "Adia, I'm watching." I was like, "Girl, you don't need to watch." But then I forget my YouTube channel is like my name, so really anyone can find me. I remember someone in my class searched me up, and I was like, and then they were gonna play my YouTube videos in front of the class. I was like, "Don't do that to me." It's like weird because for a lot of my content, I do like voiceovers, and I actually don't like the. I feel like it's like that for most people. Like they don't really like the sound of their hearing the sound of their voice. I've kind of gotten used to it since I do voiceovers so often, so I kind of don't really think about it too much. I just think like, oh, it's over, and like, yeah. So sometimes when I hear like my videos, like when my friends open up their Instagram and they hear my videos, it's like, stop doing this to me. Like I already spent an hour to 30 minutes listening to my voice just to edit that video. You don't need to torture me anymore. But yeah, it's like, oh my gosh, it's like really hot. Okay, let me see if y'all can. Yeah, y'all can kind of see. So basically, the whole like premise. So this is basically supposed to be like gold. Once I like actually put in the color, and the background is gonna be like some sort of pastel color. I haven't. I think I'm probably gonna stick with like pink or pink and green type of pastel colors. Ooh, not my nail gun stuck. And then for the figure, I wanted to keep the figure kind of simple, like at least for the underpainting, just because I don't want to add too much elements to the figure before. I just want to make sure that it's kind of like accurate before I commit to like, I don't know, working too much on like the hair or like how the face is gonna look. I want to like kind of sculpt out my idea. At least that's how I was taught in my figure drawing class. Instead of like, for example, starting on the eyes or something like that, you would sculpt out the face first. So in order to do that, I just decided not to put like the hair on there yet. Because usually I don't struggle with putting on hair. I just kind of just like put it on as if it's like a doll or something, and I'm like squishing it out. I don't know if doing it this way will work against me. I guess I'll just find out when I actually start working on like the face and stuff. Because I did end up redrawing the face, not the face, but like the head and the legs, because I was like struggling really bad with it. And as you can see, I haven't committed on that arm because everything else is outlined besides that arm and the clouds, because I kind of just wing the clouds. But now I'm doing this underpainting, I'm gonna have to make decisions. I also like, I think my problem is why I have to do such an intense like underpainting or sketching. I have a problem with like committing to certain design elements. I get, yeah, I would say that's why I haven't, this arm, like I kind of want to redo it, but I'm just gonna kind of hope that it starts looking better. And I remember my professor saying something along the lines of like drawing with confidence, which I feel like I do, just not with figures. So yeah, I'm like over here trying to make sure it looks right. But honestly, I'm pretty happy about the overall like look of the figure. I think it looks pretty like fluid and not stiff. Although I did kind of mess up right here. That looks kind of crazy, but like it's fine. We'll like overlook it for now. I just have to make sure that honestly, picking this color, it's like boring me a little bit, but I have to remember that this is still the underpainting and not to judge it too much. I was reading this book and it was talking about like when people judge their work like too prematurely before they've actually like established like I guess anywhere close to what the finished product would look like. And I'm kind of doing that right now. I'm like, I wish I chose orange for the underpainting, but I'm trying to break out of my element to see which underpainting works the best for me, I guess. And also whether, if I want to establish certain colors, what underpainting should I use? Or underpainting color should I use? I feel like I need to stand because this is like, I'm gonna move this chair up. Because like, I feel like I'm so far from the canvas. I like that this thing is quiet now, that it's not nighttime. I don't know why. I think it probably just because like it was hatching that night, well, last night, and it was doing the most. Like it kept beeping. It was just like actually crazy. And then not to mention, my little Tamagotchi person is like big back. Like I had to constantly feed it several times, like again and again and again. Yeah. I know in my like last stream I was talking about how like I'm low-key excited for college to start back up. I think I know some people really don't like college, but I think college is so fun. I think I just like being in the element where I'm around other artists, because then you get to like bounce ideas from other people and stuff. But also, I think it can kind of be intimidating if you're like looking around the room, and in a sense, I feel like being in like an artist and being around other artists, it can kind of be like a little bit of like a competition thing in a sense, not like with your, I don't know, even sometimes with your peers. Like I remember my professor was like, okay guys, like look around the classroom and see whose is better than yours. I was like, that's crazy. Like he would just stir the pot for no reason. But I was living for it because it made the class interesting. Oh my gosh, my paint's getting kind of dry. Hold on, I need to add some water. But yeah, he would like stir the pot. Oh my gosh, hey. Honestly, I think this is like the earliest I've ever started a stream. Like, I feel like my typical time I usually start the stream is like maybe like 4 or something. And since I'm like jet lag, I low key slept my whole day away. So now I'm like trying to be productive. Oh my gosh, since there's people watching, let me show y'all this. Okay, so I got this when I was in like Japan, and it hatched yesterday or like early this morning. And honestly, it's been like chilling so far, cuz usually, well, not usually. I've only had it for like a day. But like last night it was making so much noise. Thank you. Yeah, it was making so much noise. It actually really, I was bothered. Like I was really bothered. Oh, but back to the start of college. I don't know. I'm just like super excited to like see my friends when they come back to Arizona, and I'm really excited to like uh I don't know, just kind of be back into like the flow and like art and stuff like that. Not like art, but like I feel like college keeps me really busy, and I like being busy. What I get like I don't know. I just I don't mind being busy. I know some people are like, they find college stressful, which I'm kind of nervous about. Okay, so I did do like an override for this semester, so I'm taking like 6 classes, which is like, one of my friends was like, "Oh, girl, you're taking 6 classes." I think one of my friends, she might be taking like 7 or something, but that kind of makes sense for her because she's double majoring. And for her to like finish college like on time, well, not on time. I think she'll still have to do like another semester or something like that. But every time I go to like the advisors, they are the most unhelpful people ever. Like that, and I know there's some people who say that they're good like advisors. I haven't met one yet, to be honest. Well, it's not that they're like, no, I haven't met one yet. To be honest, I haven't met one yet. And I don't want to just like dog all advisors, but like I was thinking about adding like a what is it? Minor. And I was like, oh, okay. I had this like one English professor, and he was just like so great. It made me want to add philosophy. Like, yeah, it was an English class, but I was like, maybe I should do philosophy. I'm super interested in philosophy. And so when I went to go like try to see like what are the steps to adding like a minor, she pulled up like the minor list, and she started like going through each like thing, and I was like, girl, I'm not asking. Like, it really really irritated me because like I already went through the list. I already knew what I wanted to do. And so like I just felt like she wasn't listening, and then she's like, "Oh, and then this and that and that." And then I was talking about my what was I talking about? I was talking about my actual major. So my major is painting and drawing, and I was like, "Okay, am I on track? What classes would you suggest taking for like next semester?" And it just wasn't that helpful. Like, it she really made me bad. And I was like, I hope it's not like incentivized for like advisors to just like pay like make students graduate late so like the college can get more money from like the college students. Like, they already get more than enough money for me. Like, I still have to accept the fact that I'm gonna have to pay like $1,000 just to park my car. Like, I'm like, okay, I'm like doing the mental math of like how much I need to save before the semester starts, and the semester starts in like give or take like a few weeks. It's like, what is it? It's July 16th. My first day of classes is not July. It's like August 16th or something like that. I don't know what day that is. No, I'm pretty sure I have classes. But so then, right, you have to think about parking. and each parking lot has different pricing. So if I want to park at like the dorms I live in, right? The dorms I live in, it's like $900. It was last year, so I don't know. It might be $1,000 this year. Who knows? And then, not to mention, parking just makes me mad. And then, supplies. Okay, so I took a painting class last semester too. It was like in the fall, not like the spring. And for that class, I spent around $400. And keep in mind, I had a friend that took a painting class, and she gave me all of her painting supplies. And the $400 was just on paint and paintbrushes. So I think I bought like, I know I needed 20 tubes of paint, and I think I bought probably around like 15 tubes of paint, because like her painting class, she needed much less colors. She really just had like mainly like primaries and like purple and another color. But like my professor, he wanted like 20 million colors, and so I was like, and not to like, he was a great professor. I would definitely like, I would take his class again. He was great, but it's just like so expensive. And then this semester I'm taking 2 painting classes, so I feel like it's kind of gonna be like almost twice the cost, just because, well, not twice the cost, because I don't really know how much I'm gonna need for intermediate painting, but I kind of feel like that they're gonna be making us paint with much bigger canvases, which would, in result, would have you use more paint. And then for my other painting class, it's like a figure painting class, so really I would probably just need mostly, probably have to buy doubles of like colors that make fleshy tones and stuff like that. So that shouldn't be like too bad. I also feel like that class shouldn't be too stressful, I hope. Like, I took figure drawing with this professor, and I thought that class was chill. It was pretty fun to me, pretty entertaining, and it wasn't like stressful. But I have like half semester classes, and I remember I was told freshman year that it's not a good idea to take 2 half semester classes in the same like segment. So there's like A session, B session, and C session. So C session is like for the entire like semester, and then A session is from like August to October, and I think B session is from like October to December or something like that. And oh my gosh, hey. And what was I saying? Oh yeah, okay, so I have 2 A session classes. I don't know why I did that to myself. I couldn't explain. I think probably it might have been like B session might have been full, or they just didn't have a B session. I honestly don't remember. But okay, so I'm taking a science class, and I'm like a little nervous because I just was kind of like freeballing with that class. So I'm like required to still take like general classes. And so for my first science class, I took biology, and I was struggling through the entire thing. It was like horrible. I don't know how I passed it with like, I think I passed with like an A or a B. I don't remember. I just remember it was like really stressful. And then I found Quizlet. Yeah. Quizlet was like my life. Oh, thank you, thank you. I got I got my glasses during my trip. It was like, how much were these glasses? They were like $30 or something. So like they put the prescription in for me and everything, and then like, yeah, all that was like $30. So if you guys ever go out the country and you're in like Thailand, like get some glasses, cause I was like, my other glasses, they're like not as cool as these ones, and they were like $300, but probably because I got them here. So I guess that like makes sense. But yeah, so I was taking like biology, and my biology class, it was it was a stressful class. But I feel like once I found like the Quizlets and stuff, it made it like less stressful. It was just like a lot of content, and then yeah, it was a lot of content, and then we had to do like all this online like reading, which I didn't do. And then we had to go like outside of class and do art, like an RV type of thing. That was kind of cool. I actually kind of liked the like RV, or not, yeah, VR type of like deal for my science class. That was cool. But I was like, I never want to take another in-person science class, especially since like the science class that I wanted to take was I can't remember what it's called, but it's about like space and stuff. Astronomy. Yeah. I wanted to take that, but it was like already like full and it was in person. I didn't want to take it in person. So I'm taking an online science class and what is it? It's anthropology, which I know nothing about anthropology, so this is gonna be interesting. I've heard mixed reviews on it. I heard some people say it's easy and some people say it's like really difficult. So I'm kind of just assuming that it might just be really difficult. Because I find science to be really hard unless the professor is really good at what they do. But since it's online and I'm more of an in person type of learner, I guess we're just gonna have to see. I even like wrote out how I'm gonna complete each like how I'm gonna complete my online work because I have this other online classes and it's like a religion class. I don't really know what that entails for. I don't know if it's writing. I don't know if it's like test heavy, quiz heavy. I guess I'll just kind of find out. I did see like on Rate My Professor that they had like fairly good ratings. So yeah, it's I don't know. It's it's a lot. And then like I'm taking 3 studio classes, but I feel like it won't be that bad. I feel like the only studio class that'll be like super kind of stressful is like my intermediate painting class. I guess it kind of just depends on like my. Oh my gosh, the SpongeBob ice cream. Whose ice cream is that? I gotta show the chat now. Okay, I just wanted to show y'all. I kind of want one, but they're not mine. Ooh, exactly. See, I want some too. They're not mine, but like, I kind of like feel the need to like buy some for some reason. But yeah, I feel like my intermediate class, like, I don't know. I feel like that will probably be challenging, and like I remember my last painting class, I had to like go outside of like class hours to work on paintings, which I'm just gonna have to figure out how I'm gonna like stream, make like YouTube videos. My short form shouldn't be too bad. I just like film in class and then like chop it up, and then that takes like 20 minutes or so or 10 minutes, just depending on like how much footage I'm looking through and how many times I redo my voiceover. And then also I want to be in the gym more, so that's also like another thing. I was like, okay, I'm gonna have to wake up early. Like, luckily, I feel like I have more of my day than I did last semester. Last semester I had like classes from like 6 or 7 in the morning, and it would go all the way up to like 7 p.m. But now my classes start around like 10, and either they end at like 3 or it ends at 7. So yeah, I'm also taking this like wheel throwing class. I don't think that class will be that stressful, hopefully. Because when I took ceramics last semester, I didn't find it to be that stressful. Okay, I did spend a lot of time outside of class to work on projects just because I think I'm like kind of slow when it comes to like making ceramics or maybe just hand building. Because all the stuff that I wanted to do had like all these intricate like details and stuff. So maybe that's like also why it took more time to finish like certain projects and stuff. Ooh, that color is like too close to like the sky. But I had like a choice between like hand building or wheel throwing. So okay, at first I like changed my whole schedule. I was only gonna take 2 studio classes, but I told myself if someone drops figure painting, which someone did, I changed my whole schedule. I just feel like figure painting will make like for something that's like kind of like a weak point for me. Yeah, yeah. I'm very like goal oriented, but like I know like drawing and painting figures is like a weak point for me. So like when that class opened up, I was like, I need to take that class. Like that's something that I wanted to work on, was being more confident with like drawing figures, which is kind of why like I've been painting a lot of figures lately, so I can be less intimidated. Wow, words. But yeah, and also I just hope the projects are actually good for like my painting class. I'm gonna be very upset if we're doing like still lifes. Like if we're like, unless it's like something that's like a little exercise, like okay guys, paint a still life for this class. But like if we're like project one, paint an apple, I'm gonna be upset. Or like paint a self portrait, like like no, I did that last semester and I just don't really like painting self portraits. Like thank you. Um yeah, I'm just not like too much into like drawing self portraits. I don't know, I just don't find it like in enjoyable. Like I don't know, even like I was drawing a self portrait and I had like this little like silly hat. He's like, okay, draw a self portrait with a silly hat, and I thought it was the most agonizing thing ever. Like I was just like second guessing everything. I was like, oh my gosh, I was like, and I had to like redraw my face. But I feel like now after taking I took figure drawing, so after taking that class, um, it's not so much even like I feel like I would be much better at drawing a self portrait now than like I was before I took that class. It's just like I just don't find it enjoyable. So I want to like do things that are like enjoyable. Like if they gave us a landscape, I'd be so happy. Exactly. Like I don't know. It's just like, and I told myself if I did have to like draw a self portrait, I'm just gonna take a really cool like reference photo of myself, so then I can find it enjoyable. Like that like little trend where people were drawing faces with like the stickers on it. It's from some album. I can't remember the album, but yeah, like that trend where like people were like painting. Like I would just buy a bunch of stickers, put it on my face, do some type of cool like hair and makeup or something like that, and then have some probably like a cool scenery, and then dress up, and then maybe I would feel better about like drawing a self portrait. I feel like that's the only way I'd be like, okay, yeah, I kind of ate. But then I feel like maybe all the elements might also hinder the way that I don't know. I might be thinking too much into it because I can't even see what the projects are because they don't have like their syllabuses out yet. So I'm kind of just like guesstimating. But yeah, hold on. I'm gonna put some more water on here because it's like drying out a little bit. Okay, I accidentally put too much water, but it's fine. Um, I don't know, but I'm just like really excited to like film like college content. I like really enjoy filming college content, and I've noticed that like the people that like support me like a lot of my college content. I do think I do want to like vlog a little bit more of it because I did a lot of like short form videos of it, and of course like live streaming because then like I could tell y'all like what I did for the day. Um, Honestly, I probably live stream and do homework. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I'm probably just gonna have to like figure out some time to like do both in a sense. But I was also thinking if y'all want to come up with like some suggestions on what I should name my little Tamagotchi little thingamajig, even though they're kind of shopped. They look crazy. I think it said they were like two or something like that. I don't have a name for them yet, but if y'all have suggestions, and it's like awfully quiet. I was like, oof. I thought I killed it this morning because it had like I don't know. It had this like weird like figure thing, and I think it's because like I don't know. I didn't clean it, I guess, and then like it had this weird figure, so I think it was sick. And I was like, oh my gosh, like, did it die? Like my sister's died. And keep in mind, we have not. I've been back for like 4 days. Yeah, I was like, girl, how? You're a bad mother. Like, I was like, you're a bad mother. Like, what are we doing? So I was like, I have to make sure that mine survives longer than hers. So in order to do that, I just like have it with me while I'm live. So then I can't be a bad mother because I can't forget about it. It's right here. Well, probably after I end this, I am putting it back on mute because it was doing too much. Like, I didn't even know that there was like a discipline like tab on it. I was like, discipline. I did discipline it because it was doing too much. It was like yelling at me. It was making these like little marks, and I was like, feisty. And it was like 0 years old. It was crazy. But I wonder what happens when it like dies. Like, would you have to buy like that? Okay, okay, it's guys, like, it's not child abuse. Like, I swear, like, I think they're happy. I would hope. Um, yeah. um, they're living a nice and like quiet life, as you can see. They're bouncing around, pretty happy. But yeah, I'm just curious because like I didn't ask my sister. I should probably ask her like if she has to like buy a new one. That would be kind of cool though. If you don't take care of it, well, you gotta buy a new one. Or do you just like revive it, and it just like starts from like hatching, and then like I don't know. Like, I can already tell. I feel like mine has a pretty strong personality. I was like, wow, you just hatched and you have a very strong personality. I guess the genes are strong. These clouds are looking interesting. Okay. I don't know if I told you about how I was planning on making the snake. That's what I'm saying. It would be like really crazy because I've never had one, but I've also never like watched people who like have them. I guess I'm sure there's videos on like how to care for them, but like I'm kind of like winging it right now, and I'm like hoping for the best. I was playing like a little game with it, and it got mad because I got it wrong. It started crashing out on me, and I was like, wait, like, I'm sorry, Pookie, like, don't be mad at me. Um, yeah, so I'm just trying to keep it alive. I'd be pretty upset, honestly, if I had to buy a new one, because it was like, it's not like expensive, but I wouldn't say it's cheap either. It was like 3,000 yen or something. So it was like maybe $30 like USD. That would just be crazy. Like, oh, I had it for a day and it died and I had to buy a new one. That would be like crazy. I'd be so upset. And we have like different generations. So I've Gen 1 and she had Gen 2, but I don't really know what the difference is between the two because they look the same. So I don't know. If anyone knows, let me know. And some of the like, it was like, it was doing a lot. It was like complaining last night. It was like beep 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 beep, and I was like, yeah, that's why I had to put it on mute because it was doing too much. I was like, and it was like, let me think. What time did I get off of? Yeah, for real. Like, of course, I have like where is it? I have like instructions, but I've decided not to read them. And then on the box too. The box has like little instructions of like what each icon does, but it's in like Japanese, so I took a picture of it yesterday. And let's see. Yeah, this icon right here, if you can see it, I think it says like, yeah, to discipline your Tamagotchi. I was like, that's crazy. To discipline, I think it's like, it looks like you're like yelling at it, I guess. I was like, to be honest, I thought to discipline was like the bat, and I was like, that's child abuse. That's child the bat, but the bat's for like playing, and I was like, that. I feel like we could have used a different icon for that, but yeah. So anyway, I'm just gonna assume the little like discipline is like yelling and not like. And then it gets sick and stuff. and it was sick this morning because it poops and stuff, and I didn't clean it up in time because I was asleep, and I woke up and yeah, it wasn't eating, and oh my gosh, it also said, my sister said, like, if it doesn't eat and it's hungry, you have to discipline it, whatever that's supposed to mean. So, yeah, this is why I've kind of decided just to, like, have it on stream with me. It's a learning experience for us all, I guess. I think it's very entertaining. I think this is gonna be, like, my new, like, gifting thing. I'm just gonna give all my friends, like, a little one. And some of them, like, there's, like, different characters, too, based on which one that you buy, which I didn't know. I was just, like, looking, and I, like, saw that there was, like, different characters and stuff. So I wonder if that means if, like, if they're easier or harder to care for. I wonder if you, like, discipline it too much, if it will, like, die. That'd be kind of crazy. But my sister, hers just died because she was neglecting it. Like, she forgot about it because she muted it. She, like, checked on it. She's like, oh my gosh, it died. And I was like, that's, yeah. So honestly, I'd be pretty devastated if it just, like, yeah, I would be, like, I would be devastated. I would have to, like, let y'all know. I'd be like, okay, guys, rip in the chat for, I need to figure out a name. I could name it off of an anime character that I really like, but also there's no, like, defining, like, characteristics on it right now. It's like, it's just like a blob. It's just like a circle. So I don't know when it'll start developing characteristics, because right now, hold on, how old is it? Let's see. Okay, so, like, it's kind of hard to press the buttons with, like, my nail, but, like, I don't know if you guys can, like, see. Like, right now the food icon is, like, highlighted. The glare is crazy. Let's see. Okay. So right now, yeah, so they're 2 years old. They weigh 21 ounces. Dang, big back. 21 ounces. It has this, like, discipline thing, but I don't know what that's supposed to mean. And then, like, it has, like, the hunger. So it's not that hungry, but I've been feeding it a lot. So it shouldn't be hungry anytime soon. And I gave it some snacks and stuff. Okay. The happiness is kind of low. Like, I don't know if y'all can see, like, one heart. Dang, I'm okay. I'm cooked, y'all. Probably because I haven't been playing with it, but I don't know. They're just kind of like, okay, they're not depressed. Like, I swear they're not depressed. Does this look like a depressed? Okay, maybe a little bit, but, like, they'll be fine. They're just, like, going through a little hurdle at 2 years old. Yeah, I swear, I'm a good mother. I swear. Yeah. Making me look bad. Like, I swear, if the thing could, like, talk, like, actually say things, that would be, like, kind of crazy. They should do that. Like, hungry. Because it usually just, like, beeps. It'll, like, kind of, like, highlight something. But I haven't had it highlight a certain, like, icon. Like, yeah. Something like that. But also, I feel like if it started going off and I was in the middle of class, I'd be like, oh. Oh yeah, okay, so about the snake, right? So I've made most of my snakes, like, they've usually been, like, some sort of, oh yes, period, okay. I'd love to hear it. What are you drawing? I'm just curious. I'm invested now. But so basically with the snake, I usually make them like green or some sort of brown color, like a greenish brown, but I'm trying to kind of test out different colors and how they work um, alongside each other. So I think I'm gonna do and wait, hold on. Oh, period. Okay, we love to see it. What type of like medium are you using? Are you using like graphite, charcoal, repainting, pen? I always find it super interesting on like the type of mediums people use because I definitely have least favorites. I feel like even though I'm a painter, there's like paints that I just don't like using. Digital, okay. See, I'm trying to get into digital. Well, not necessarily like trying to get into it, but I have like Procreate and stuff, and I've been using it more. But I also do paint. Yeah. Um, do you use like Procreate or do you use like a different um, application? Because my brother does a lot of digital art, but he does like animation, so he doesn't use Procreate. He uses like I think it's called Blender or something. I think he might use. Does he? Does he use that? I feel like he might. I don't know. I've heard of the application, but I've never like used it, so I don't like know very much about it. But I do know that I use Procreate, and I've been using it lately to kind of sketch out my ideas and like look at certain color combos, just to kind of help like with planning my paintings. But I think digital art, like, I don't know, I have a hard time with it. I don't dislike it. I definitely like it. I'm debating on whether I should buy like a new iPad to like do more like planning through Procreate because my my latest painting, like I did like an angel what was it? I did an angel painting and I sketched it all out on Procreate and then I put it on my canvas. Oh, it came out so good. I was like, why don't I use Procreate more often? Wait, let me see what you said. I use. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I just. I don't know. I'm like debating on whether. But my thing is like I'm debating on whether I should get an iPad to like obviously kind of plan out my paintings more, or to get like one of those like super expensive printers. They're like the same price, like the iPad and the printer, they're the same price, but for like to print out prints of my artwork instead of using like a third party. But then I also have to figure out where I'm gonna put it at. Like I could put it in my dorm, but I have roommates. I think they're I think it'll be fine to be honest. Like I live with the same roommates besides one. So as long as like she's not a thief or something, or I don't know, she just has people in and out, then I think it should be fine. I hope. Like I hope. I've definitely had like crazy situations with like room. Well, it was only one. I shouldn't say crazy. It was literally just one. Like my ones that I had last semester, they were fine. They were great. They didn't make a mess. They didn't steal. They didn't do any of that. My one freshman year, she was awful. Like, and she like knew that I had like a platform and stuff. A platform, but I think I'm what's it called? I would call myself like an ambivert, right? So I sometimes I like to be inside, but sometimes I like to be outside. But I think I'm more towards like the introverted. I don't know, like I could talk to people, but sometimes I find being around people is very draining. So I sometimes I have a hard time, and I was trying to like communicate that to her because she's like, "Oh, like you're so like bubbly on your like accounts and stuff like that," and I was like yeah, that's me, but also like I just like to like especially when I'm in my in my peace when I'm like laying down. It's like I just like to stay to myself. Like for example, I don't hang out with my friends that much. Like I should hang out with them more, but I'm like so focused on like this and like painting. I spend a lot of time like in my room, and I just find my peace. But sometimes like when I'm out and about, I'm like, oh yes, like I gain energy. And I'm like, yes, this is like fun. But sometimes when I'm like around a lot of people, especially I don't know, sometimes it's like very draining, especially when you have like there isn't anybody in particular that I can think of, but some people like require more energy to actually like I shouldn't even say speak to, just to like be around for long periods of time. Like some people are like, all right, you got 1 hour and then I'm going home because like my energy is like draining. Like my friends, they like to go to parties and stuff. I am not a party person. Like I'll just be there like with my friends. Like it's like I could be in my room painting right now. Like I could be like I don't know. I just think like all the other things I could be doing than like being at this party. Um, yeah, I'm not too much of like a party person or anything like that. So like, I think she had this like false, uh, she had this like expectation of who I was going to be, and she kind of like I think also she was mad about the way that I would like kiki with my friends compared to her. But I was like, girl, I don't. And it's not that I wasn't willing to know her. She did some things. I don't want to say too much because like that's lucky her business. But she did some things that I just no. It's like it's a little bit of a character flaw. And I was like, if you're gonna do that to like those people, like I can only imagine what you're gonna do to me, and I'm like low key a stranger, even though we live in the same room. So yeah, I don't know. Like I really did try to like, hey, like don't take it personal if I'm like, cause like even if she would start a conversation, like of course I would like talk back, but like if she wants me to start a conversation, I'm probably not going to, just because like I'm not too much of a person that likes to force things, and I can't like fake be interested in something. I don't know if that makes sense. Especially when like she was like super draining to be around. Like, oh my gosh. Like I feel like I was always on edge. Like she'd be like, oh my gosh, like you didn't address me this morning, and it was like a toxic boyfriend I didn't ask for. Or a toxic girlfriend I didn't ask for. Yeah, that like that's how the dynamic felt. But yeah, I feel like because it's weird. Like I'm able to like hold on, let me see. Um, see, that's what I was saying. I was like, listen, like if you talk to me, like yeah, I'm gonna like engage in conversation. Like I'm not just gonna blatantly ignore you. Although I did start doing that because she was doing a lot. She was doing too much. Cause she's like, oh, I feel like you ignore me, and I was like, no, I don't ignore you, but like I can ignore a person if need to be. And I was yeah, it was just I feel like I always had to like reassure her, and so it was too much. It was a lot of, and then the reason why she wasn't in my room anymore, she like cursed me out. Like she just went off. She's like, blah 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 blah. Your art sucks, and this that and the third, and blah 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 blah. And I just looked at her like she was insane because I was like, why are you so upset? I just couldn't understand it. That's what I'm saying. And she was like, and you're a reject, and you're a loser, and blah 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 blah. And I was just like I'm not gonna lie, I had a smirk on my face because I was just so like sometimes when like things happen, I don't really know how to react, so like I'll like just smile and I'm like, oh my gosh. I'm like I was so appalled. I was like, wow. And I don't know, yeah, I was and then, of course I went downstairs. I was like, yeah, she's yelling at me and they moved her out. And I was like, Loki, I was like, that's really okay. Let me okay, so let me start from the beginning. Okay, so um we like added each other on like socials before like we moved in, and I moved in before everyone else, so like I would like update people. I'd be like, hey, and keep in mind there was four of us, but it was like two to a room, and four of us shared like a bathroom. So on the other side of the bathroom there was another room, and there was two other girls. And um I'm very like self-conscious of the type of person I am. I feel like either people like me or they don't like me. There isn't really like a in between, because I have a really strong personality. And I think my strong personality can be pretty off-putting to people, which I get. I'm low key. I'm like working on it, because even like I have a really bad RBF. Like when I'm just like walking to class and my friends are like, "You look so angry." I was like, "Really?" I was like, "I just had food. Like I'm like the happiest I could be right now." Um, or sometimes like even when I'm thinking, I just look angry. My brother actually said I look more approachable when my glasses are on, so I keep them on more often now. But yeah, so we added each other on Instagram, and it was like kind of ooh, why are you? I'm just getting into story time. Like, see, it's like complaining. I think it's hungry. I don't know. Okay, so basically, we get into the dorm, and it's all like me and my exactly. Yeah, I look mad all the time, and so and you know when you kind of have like a, I know people say you shouldn't judge people by how they look, but I do. Um, or not like judge, but I just kind of get a gauge on how they may be. So I'm not like, I don't know. I do that with everyone though. I feel like it's just kind of like being uh, what's the word? Like observant of people and how their environment can kind of curate the type of character that they have. And yeah, so she's from like a small town, and I was like, this could be a good thing or a bad thing. Like either she could be like the sweetest little thing ever, or um, like we're not gonna get along. Like I just kind of like I just kind of when I seen that I was like yeah. And so I was like, you know what? I'm gonna give her the benefit of the doubt. I was like, I don't know her. I was like, I'm just gonna be like super optimistic that this is just gonna be like, yeah, it was like 50-50. I was like, yeah, okay. And I'm trying to remember where the conflict started. I think she was like, um, she was like telling me that she felt like that I didn't like her, and that it's just like it was just like I think it was my personality that rubbed her the wrong way, because I'm kind of I could be a little standoffish, especially after like classes and stuff. Like I don't really want to talk to nobody. Like I was trying to tell her that I was like it was nothing like I didn't even like dislike her. She wasn't dirty. She didn't steal. She didn't like do things to like I don't know. It was nothing that was like super. It's just like I get mentally drained from people. So I was just like I'm not gonna come inside the room and like start up a whole conversation, because I'm just not like that. And she's from a town where she's used to people just uh, talking or being nice just to be nice, and I don't be nice just to be nice. I actually don't like people who are nice to be nice, because I feel like it's you're like um, showing like a false persona. Like you're asking how my day is, but in reality you don't care. Like yeah, it's stuff like that. I don't really like that. Um, so I was like, oh, I don't really operate that way, especially since like uh, a lot of my family like we're from like LA, so like the LA culture and like vibe is kind of different. Like we don't just sit there and like validate people, I guess. So yeah, I was trying to like explain to her, because I didn't want any type of like I don't know bad energy to think that like I disliked her or anything. And I was like, yeah, like I just I just need to like woo saw, and then like if you want to talk, like I'm gonna talk to you, but I'm not gonna like start up a conversation or anything like that. Especially since like even when we were talking, like I think I get along with like all sorts of different people, even if we don't have like the same type of like hobbies or like likes or dislikes. But we were really opposite, like really like she would just talk about like um just like drugs and like other things. It's like I don't do drugs. Like I was like, and I don't know. She's just like, and what's it called? She was like one of those people who like, she's like privileged, but she didn't realize how privileged she was. it like the way she is, because I remember she was like, oh yeah, I have this like beat up car, right? Oh my gosh, I went in the car, I was like, I was like, this is your, I was like, this is like nice. But I think it's just like how we were raised type of deal. And then what's it called? Then she like started talking about me and the other girl, not the other girls, just one, because the other girl, she wasn't really my cup of tea either. I don't remember why. She just like I don't know. I don't really like people who are fake. So I don't know. I could just see it, and it was just I didn't do anything to her. It's just like we just didn't really have chemistry. So it's not that we disliked each other. We just didn't really talk. But she was definitely like friends with like my roommate. So like, of course they would kiki together and like talk about me. And it would just be like, okay. And they would talk about it in the other room. And the other girl like told me. And so I just pretend like, okay, I don't know anything, because I'm confrontational, but not the confrontation like I'm gonna fight you type of deal. I also don't yell at people. Like I'm not gonna sit there and have a screaming match with you. Like that's crazy. Because this is just like not me. And then oh, I remember what like really solidified it. Hold on, I need to add some more water to like my thing because it's like drying out. Okay, so uh I was working at like the front office, right? And like my community director told me that she told her dad to try to get me like kicked out of the dorms, right? And that was so crazy. I was like, no way. And I just kind of sat there and I was like, oh, this girl is evil. Like I was like, I didn't even do anything to her. And she basically, because I guess she just didn't like that I just wouldn't sit there and like kiki with her. Like, girl, no, like you, mm no. And that's what I was like. I was like, all right, I'm over it, trying to like keep the peace and try to be like, I don't know. Yeah. So after that, she like, I don't exactly remember what exactly it was, because obviously he can't really tell me because it's like kind of between them. But yeah, he's like, oh, she told her dad, and then her dad came to the office and was like blah 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 blah. And he's like, I can't move her, she didn't do anything to her. And they're like, well, she isn't being that nice to her and blah 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 blah. And honestly, when I heard that, that like really irked my soul. Like I was so upset. I was like, no way. I was like, there's no way that she just like did that. And I just like kept it to myself because I was like, she is so. I was like, I knew she was a fraud when I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. I was just like, I don't know, that's one thing that really made me mad. And then what happened? And then since they couldn't get me to get out of the room, because like I remember she's like um she would just like say things. She would be like, oh, like, you know, if you don't like me, like you could just like move out. And I'm like, I'm not gonna move out. Like I was like, and I'd be damned if like someone bullied me out of my spot. Like I'm hard headed. Like no, girl. Like I am. Nobody's afraid of you. No one like. No, you're not gonna little girl me. That's crazy. Cause it's just like no, you're not gonna do that. And yeah, she would just say like almost like suggesting that I should move out. And when that didn't work, that's when she like called her dad. Cause I'd like peeped that like it was weird. I was like, girl, like no, I'm not gonna move out because she's uncomfortable, which is crazy. It's like I'm not uncomfortable. You're the one who's uncomfortable. So if you're uncomfortable, and her thing was like, well, I get along with like the other roommates better than you do, so like you should like move out. And I'm like, no, like and she's like, oh yeah, like I can even like help you move out. I was like, girl, no. I was like, I pay for this dorm just like you pay for this dorm. I was like, and my thing is like, in my opinion, she wasn't even like, yeah, she was bad, but she wasn't that bad. I feel like I could have gotten someone who was like much worse than her. So in my head, I was like, it's a coin flip, and I was like, and also in my head, let someone bully me out of my space. So at that point, it's like the principal. I was like, oh, I'm definitely not moving now. Like, I was like, this could become like a real toxic situation, and I'm definitely not moving. Um, And then since my community director was like, oh no, like we can't move her because like, and because they're like, oh, like if your kid wants to move, she can move. And they're just like, well, she doesn't want to move. And then he's like, then there's nothing I could do. And so they went to his higher ups to try to get me moved. And I was like, that. And they tried to get him fired too because they wouldn't give her what she wanted. Yeah. And then my CA also knew like what was going on. And my. Oh my gosh. Like, it was like my two roommates and they like ganged up on me and I was like basically we all had to do like this meeting thing. I feel like there might have been something that happened in between there. I don't know, she just say slick comments. I remember she asked me if I was like racist towards white people and I was like, I just looked at her like she was actually crazy. I was like, what? And why? I was like, why would I be racist towards white people? I was like, that what? And then she was like, oh, it was because of what like one of my friends said, right? Keep in mind, the friend that said it is white. I was like, take that up with him. I was like, what? You're mad because of what my friend said? And he's white? I was like, and so she just like, oh, like, and okay, this is what he said. He's like, oh, I just feel like white people don't really season their food. That's what he said, and she got offended. He said that. I didn't say that. I was like, okay. I don't even remember what the context was. I think we were talking about like cooking or something like that. And yeah, I don't remember what the context was. So I was just like, you're mad at me because of what my friend said. That and then she was just like, oh, I don't understand why you don't like me, right? She's like, am I dirty? Am I this? Am I that? And I was like, no, you're not dirty. You're not that. I was like, I literally told her, I was like, no, you just have a terrible personality. She was like, what? And I was like, yeah, you have a terrible personality. It was like, I like, you don't self-reflect. You think everyone's out to get you. Like, it was like, yeah. And she was just so appalled that I said that. She's like, I have a terrible, yes, you do. Because like, keep in mind, like when we first moved in, she had told me that she had no friends um at her like previous school. Like she in her hometown, she had no friends. And in my mind, I was like, okay, that can either be like either the people in her hometown were actually like really mean, or like she's the problem. That's kind of how I seen it. But I was like, you know, I'm just gonna assume the people in her hometown are just really mean and like they like bullied her. No, she is the problem. Oh my gosh, she's the problem. Yeah, she had said that, and I was just like, okay, like I was like, all right, this is. I was just so like appalled, like I was jarred. I started laughing because I was like, what? There's no way that came out of your mouth. But yeah, but then she was talking with the CA, and we had to like do this like little meetup thingy, like to talk about the conflict, which I thought was so dumb. I just felt like it was pointless. I was like, man, do I like have to show up? She's like, yeah. I was like, really? I was like, it's like, I don't know. I feel like it's like talking to a brick wall because she thinks she does no wrong. And oh, also, we had a problem with the lights. Okay, so I would say that I am pretty moderate when it comes to like going to sleep. I forgot that was like a whole thing before that evening meeting. Okay, so yeah, we had a problem with the lights. So basically, she like I don't want to give too much away because I don't want people to try to like find her and like bully her on the internet. um, but let's just say she had to wake up early, right? She had to wake up early, and I don't know. She and I would like be drawing and stuff, right? Because I have like things to do, and I usually keep in mind I don't usually stay up after 11. And these are like, and keep in mind we're in college. People don't go to sleep until like 2 a.m. Like all my friends, they go to sleep at 4. I'm like that. I like my sleep. But yeah, she would basically say that I'm being inconsiderate because I have, and this is not like the big light, like the room light. It would be like a light on my desk, and she'd be like, oh, I can't sleep with the light. And I was like, why don't you take like a melatonin? And she's like, it makes me groggy in the morning. And I was like, then wear an eye mask. And then she's like, it'll mess up my lashes. And I was like, I was like, there is, and I wouldn't even do it that often. But then at some point, I started doing it just to be petty. Like, I started doing it just to be petty because like after she like the whole dad thing, yeah, I started doing it just to be petty. But I don't even stay up late anyway. Um, what was going on? Oh yeah. Okay, so the light, and then she like there was like no compromising. She would just be like, oh, like can you go like do it somewhere else, right? And I'm like, no, like absolutely not. And I can't say like I think in the beginning, honestly, she created problems when there was no problems, and then like towards the end, I was just like egging her on. Like I can't say that I'm like innocent. You know what I mean? Like I'd just feel like a liar if I said it was innocent. Because at that point, it's just like, well, you're my op forever now. Like, I gotta get you out of my room since you're trying to get me out of my room. So, yeah, she was basically my op forever. Okay, so back to like the light thing, right? And I remember one day I came to the room and she added a curtain. She added a curtain in the middle of the room, and I was like, that. I was like, no way. I don't think I have the picture anymore. I think I might have deleted it because I was like, why do I still have this? But like, she added a curtain in the middle of the room, and I was like, okay. She's like, yeah, I just don't like people who I don't really know like looking at me. She said something along the lines of that. And I was like, okay, I guess because we have like kind of like they're like bunk beds, but not really. They're just like off the floor. So like my bed was like on one side of the wall and her bed was on the other side. And yeah, she's like, yeah, I just feel like it's like really awkward. So I just added a curtain, and it was the biggest eyesore in the room. I was just like, I was like, bless. I don't have to look at you either. Like, bless. Like you don't have to look at me. I don't have to look at you. I was like, you solved everyone's problem. Like thanks. Um, Okay, so I think fast forward to like the talk, right? And keep in mind, there's four of us in a room. One of the girls, she was like kind of giving me the details of what she was saying about me. But I didn't want to drag her into it because it was like low key none of her. Like, I don't want to. I didn't want her to have issues with the other roommates because she was saying things um, or it's like oh, she had to pick a side. Like, I don't know. I'm just not really that person. I'm kind of like a lone wolf in a sort. I was like, girl, I can deal with it. Like, it's fine. But yeah, when I went to the meeting, it was basically my roommate and then like my suite mate, which is the one that she's like closest to, that they were like talking about me, right? And I was like, so this is, and I already knew I was walking to that because my CA, clutch her, she like told me, she's like, hey, I don't want you like walking in thinking like we're like setting you up, so I'm just letting you know, like she brought, and I was like, okay, so she brought her dog with her, okay, her little pooch, her chihuahua, like, oh my gosh, I was so irritated, and honestly, the conversation went nowhere. I was like, she's like, oh my gosh, like, hey, Adia, and I just ignored her. And she's like, see, this is what I'm talking about. And I was like, no. I was like, we're not about to sit up here and kiki, and you're trying to act like you are not, like, acting like you're the victim. I was like, I was like, I'm not about to sit up here and be like, oh my gosh, hey, girl, like, no. Just because the CA is here and, like, yeah, she was like trying to kind of create this like persona that she's like the victim. So of course she would be like, "Oh my gosh, hey girl," like. And then like I ignore her, so of course it kind of looks bad. But I was like, no, like I'm not about to sit up here and play pretend with you, because you're my op forever. Like no. She was just so fake. I couldn't stand how fake she was. I don't even remember what exactly the conversation was. Exactly, I didn't like that. Like, and then because the meeting was right after, I took like an exam for math. I'm pretty sure I bombed that test. honestly. I don't remember. I think it was like the geometry test, and I feel like I bombed it, but maybe it wasn't. Um, and like the whole conversation was kind of like a blur to me, because I was like, this is like useless. I was like, she has the problem. I was like, I don't. At that point, I just stopped caring about like her being in the room. It's just like, oh, and not to mention, so when she would leave, right, I would tell her like, hey, like my only thing was like, hey, like please lock the door. Uh, like I live in Arizona. I know how it's like. So it was like there's crackheads all over the place. So I was like, just lock the door. And I'll even hear about like the crackheads like going to like people's dorms and like knocking on it or like stuff like that. And I don't know. It's just like that really irritated me. Like she would like purposely not lock the door, and then she would leave it cracked open while I'm asleep. Oh, oh my gosh! I was like, and like, and I would like notice it too, and I just wouldn't say a word. I would say nothing. I was like, all right, and that's when I really started being petty. That's what I'm saying. Like she was doing petty things, I was doing petty things. Like were we both wrong? Kind of. like like I was kind of wrong, but like also like no, like I'm not just gonna let you like bully me in my room. No, I refuse to like be bullied. Like I'm not gonna sit here and be a victim and blah blah blah. I'm not gonna do it. So yeah, she would like literally leave the door open. I remember when she left once, and she left the door wide open. I was like, "Are you like?" I would just be like, "Like, are you an idiot?" And I was like, I'm like in the room, and I was like as if she doesn't have a TV in our room. Like TV's not mine, TV's hers. And I'm like, I don't know. It's just like there was no thought in that brain. I was like, what, like, why? And keep in mind, I also like, I feel like I'm a really chill roommate in my opinion. Like, yeah, I have some like sticklers. Um, the air. We would fight about the air. Well, not really me and her. It'd be like the sweet mates. They'd like come in and just like, oh yeah, yeah. They would come in and just like kind of, what would they do? They would come in and change the air, which honestly really upset me because like, why are you just coming into my room, like my room unannounced? I could be like booty butt naked and like free show. Oh, and there was also this situation where like my sweet mate came into my room, and my who was it? My friend was in the room, and she came in like, and she was like, I don't even know what she was talking about, but she came into the room and she had her camera on, and I was like, why is your camera on? And she's like, oh, I was just showing my friend like the room dynamic. And I was like, why would you need to show your friend the room dynamic? You could just explain it to them without having a camera like in my room. And like, and I think she thought nobody was there. So when my friend and I looked, we were just like, what are you doing? And she was just like, oh, like nothing. Like, why do you have your camera out, and why are you filming in my room? Yeah, that was, I don't know, that was just like really like, girl, what are you doing, and why are you doing this? And yeah, and then her friend was also in the room too, so it was just like her like other friend. And I was like, are you? I don't know. It was crazy. It was very messy, very 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 messy. And then, oh my gosh, hey. Oh, to catch you up to speed, basically I'm talking about like my freshman like roommate horror story. Thank you, thank you. Yeah, I got caught up in the like story time. Also, I have like my little like, oh my gosh. I'm sorry. I have like my little like Tamagotchi, and it made a stinky, so I should probably clean it before they get sick. But yeah, basically I'm in the middle of my story time of like my roommate horror story. I thought I would never tell. Well, I don't know. I thought I would never tell it, but here we are. You know, I guess I gotta spill the tea. Cause like, she was evil. Is she reading? Oh really? I've never had one, so I was just like, oh, let me buy one since I'm like in Japan. But yeah, my roommate, she was like evil, and then she like low key. I haven't seen one of those in forever. I I haven't like seen one in person, but the reason why I bought it is I saw it in person when I was in Japan. I was like, oh my gosh, I feel like I need this, and so I'm like low key learning how to like work it. And I thought I almost killed it this morning because it was like sick. Um, it was doing a lot. I'm pretty sure it's probably hungry, but um, also I'm leaving it up for like any type of name suggestions because I haven't named it yet. But also it doesn't have very many like defining like features on it. So like I don't know, it's kind of just like a blob right now. And on the device it says that there are two. Back. I had to get food. I haven't eaten yet. Oh, real. Okay. Let me wait, hold on. Painting colors what you call monochromatic. Yeah. This is like monochromatic, but like this is the underpainting. So like I'm gonna paint over this. I'm just kind of just like blocking in shades and stuff. And now you're back. Now I can continue my story. Oh wait, but I should probably like go back a little bit because you probably missed a little bit. Okay, so basically, um, very nice. Oh, thank you. Um, so basically, and I feel like all of this probably also happened. You have to go back. I was just dropping. Okay. Okay, Clee. Keep your flow going. Thank you. Yeah, I'm trying to stream more often. So basically, I'm trying to think because like the meeting was like a very like. I feel like it was something that happened towards the end, and I feel like there was just a lot of things that happened in between that, and I'm trying to like remember it. I just kind of like flushed it out of my mind because I was like, uh, she just, oh my gosh, she really did a lot. Like, she did a lot. Honestly, yeah, it was just like, even like during the meeting, my suite mate, she didn't actually say too much. I don't think she said anything at all. I think she was just there for like moral support. I think that's what she was there for. Because I don't recall her saying anything. But then I don't know. I don't recall her saying anything. Maybe she did, and I was just like, girl, this is not about you. I could see myself saying something like that. But yeah, she was just playing victim the whole time. And even like the CA, she's like, what am I supposed to do about this? Like, she was basically saying like, oh, like I don't say hi to her, I don't engage in conversation, like she just treats me like I'm just like a nobody and blah blah blah. And like my save was just like, she's like, you can't say hi to her. I was like, absolutely not. I was like, I was doing it at first, like I was saying hi to her just to like make her comfortable, but after that whole like dad thing, and she's like, oh, so like we can't. I was like, I'm not gonna say hi to her. I was like, she should have thought about that before she started doing all that extra stuff. Like, I don't know. I just think people think I'm just gonna sit up there and lie, and I was like, girl, like I'd be a liar if I said like, oh yeah, since like you're asking me, I'm gonna do it. Like, absolutely not. I'm not that type of person. Like, I couldn't even like, I'm like one of those people that can't like fake be nice to someone if they've already dogged me. So I was like, absolutely not. Why would I sit here and like make you feel comfortable because you're like, no, you have sat here and purposely done things to like just irritate me, just like leaving the door unlocked, leaving it open. Like, she would like pout. Oh my gosh, I come to the room and she would like pout. She would like stomp and like pout. She would like, I'm like, I was like, dang, like your energy is crazy. Like, it was, I can't believe she was throwing tantrums. It was crazy. I was like, girl, like it's not that deep. And then also, I think on top of that, she was like, oh, let me not say that. That's kind of her business. Let me not say that. Let me think. Okay, so let's get into like the big fight. So that happened like after the meeting. I think it might have been like a week or was it a week or two? I feel like that might have happened like the next semester. I don't know. The timeline's kind of a blur. Like I'm like, oof. Like I feel like we came back from break and then we tried to like be cordial and then it just didn't. Because she was still doing the same. She was still being like, she was still talking about me. She was still like, she was just doing like slick stuff and I think she thought I wasn't paying attention to it. And then she's like, why can't we just like, she's like, why can't you treat me like your other friends? I was like, well, my friends don't talk about me. Well, they don't talk bad about me the way you talk about me. So I was like, and like, why would I do that? I was like, they also didn't try to get me kicked out of the dorm. So I was like, why do you think that, like, she was very entitled. She just thought that she deserved everything and everyone was wronging her. And I just like, no, I'm not going to sit here and baby you because you're grown. But yeah, that's what I was saying. She was like a toxic girlfriend I didn't ask for. It felt like it felt like it wasn't a toxic relationship. Give me attention. This and there, and I was like, oh my gosh, like I'm not dating. Like it felt like I was dating her. Like I'm not dating you. Maybe she liked me. Maybe she thought I was like, I don't know. I was just like, girl, like I'm just chilling, and you are like throwing a fit. I was so appalled. Um, I'm trying to think if there was like things that led up to it, but like I just knew that I was gonna be petty when I walked into the door. No, for real, like we were both talking to each other. We were like, yeah, we were talking to each other like this. It would have been a really good reality show. Giving, bullying someone because maybe because like I swear to God, it was like, girl, you must like me or something, because like it would make her really upset. Like I didn't understand it, and she would like actually talk to people about it. She'd be like, I don't understand why like my roommate won't talk to me and blah, blah, blah. I was like, girl, like what? And I don't like when people tell me what to do. Like she was basically like, acknowledge me. No, especially that you're demanding it. Absolutely not. Let me think. Oh yeah, okay, so I don't really remember what happened in between, like if there was things leading up to the, like I remember the day leading up to like that, because I'm just trying to think if there was any conflict or anything like that, but it was like not that I can think of. I think I just kind of reverted to doing the same thing. Like I think when we both came back from break, I was like, oh my gosh, like hey, like I was really trying. I was like, man, like maybe maybe I'm the person that's like causing the issue. And then I was like, no. I was like, dude, no. I was like I was doing it and I was like, this is like, it would almost make me sick to my stomach. I was like, I'm being so fake. Like, I can't do this. And so I just stopped. And I think that bothered her. And I think that kind of led up to like the issues again. So, right, the day that like the argument happened. No, for real, she really did. I was like, oh my gosh, like I think it's because like I'm like it wasn't even her. It's just like sometimes I like to be like accountable for my actions, and I feel like I would be a liar if I said that I didn't do anything to her, because I definitely did. Like after the whole like after she did that whole dad thing, yeah. Oh yeah, I was like doing things to like I knew it would irritate her, so I'd do it on purpose. And then I started treating her like she didn't exist, and that really upset her. I guess maybe I was breadcrumbing, like you know, like when you're in a relationship and like you you like give them just enough, and like they yeah, maybe I don't know, but was I being petty? Of course, she was evil. I had to no, I had to make sure that she got what was coming to her. Yeah, okay, so the day that the whole thing happened, keep in mind I have pretty late classes. Like I'm pretty sure I got out of class at like 7 p.m. or something. And I got back around like 8 or something. And she was like on the phone and she was crying. And then she like left. She like abruptly left the room, went to the bathroom. She's like, yeah, my roommate's back. Like I can't talk. Blah, blah, blah. I was like, go outside or something. It was like I don't know. It's just like, girl, I don't care about your conversation or whatever, but I know that she would talk about me on the phone, but like whatever. She's like, yeah, I can't talk. My roommate is back, and she was like crying, and um, and I'm still on that like, girl, I don't mess with you, so I don't care that you're crying. Like, get over it. And then what happened? Yeah, I was getting ready to like take a shower and like do my homework, and I don't even think I got into the like for real, just like saying things, just like I just walked in and she's just like throwing salt at me, like it's just like crazy. Um, yeah, so I not my dog. Hey. So basically she's like mumbling about me on the phone, like I can't talk, my roommate's back, blah 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 blah. And I'm about to get ready to take a shower. I don't even think I don't remember if I actually took one or didn't, but she was like, "Oh, like, could you like do your homework like somewhere else? Like, I'm having a really rough day." Uh, yeah, she was saying that she was having a really rough day and that she really needed to get her sleep for the morning. And I was like, "No." She was like, and I was like, "Well, maybe you should have thought about that when you decided to start leaving the door open." And she was just like, what? But and I was like, yeah. Did like I was like, did you think that I was gonna be like, oh my gosh, she's just doing this on accident? Like, no. Like I had to call her out just because, yeah, pretty much. But she was like jarred. Like she's like, what? I think also she's not used to being around someone that's as blunt as I am. Because even I was telling my friends about what I was saying. It's just like, no way you actually said that to her. And I was like, I did. And they're like, Adia, like, no. I'm like, yes. So I was like, you would be doing the same thing if you were living in the toxic environment that I was living in. Like, it was, no. But, yeah, I was just like, no. Like, you should have thought about your actions before you wanted to ask me to do you a solid, because you don't even, like, you have no care in the world to, like, leave the door wide open, like, as if someone can just, like, come in while I'm asleep. Like, that's crazy. Um, so yeah, that happened, and then, yeah, then she went ballistic. She was like, "Oh my gosh," she's like, you're such a this and a that and a blah 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 blah, blah, and your art sucks, and you're a loser, and you're a reject." And then I was like, I had like a smile on my face. I was like, "Oh my gosh, are you gonna start crying again?" And then she starts up into the bathroom and she's like yelling. She grabs like two sweet mints. She's like, Dia's such a this and a that and a blah. I was just like, I was just sitting on the bed. I was like twiddling my feet. I was like, yes, get mad, get angry, crash out. And I don't know if she thought that like I'm not like sensitive like that. So like it was just like, girl, like the you saying that my art sucks is like that doesn't bother me. I was like, I get hated on the internet every day. Like that's not gonna okay. And I was like, I don't even like you, so you definitely don't have. I was like, I definitely don't care about what you have to say. No, like for real, like it was really bad. Like I just had a real like cheek to cheek, like it was really bad. Like I was like smiling, twiddling my feet. I was like, yes, girl, get mad, because I just knew after she was crashing out, I was like, the room is mine, all mine's to myself. Um, and then she comes back in the room, and she's still talking, and I was like, oh my gosh, and I'm like, since I have siblings, I'm like, I know how to get under someone's skin, so I was like, oh my gosh, Luke, like, aww. I was like, you feel upset. Yeah. Then she stormed out the room, and then I went downstairs, and I basically told on her. No, for real. I was like, oh my gosh. She was like, my roommate, she's yelling at me, she's cursing me out. And they're like, oh, do you know where she's at now? I was like, oh, she left. Thank goodness. And then I called my friends, and all my friends came down because they all lived in the same door, so they just came downstairs. So I was like, and then she came back, and all my friends were in there, and she just started like yelling. She's like, oh, all you guys are ugly. All you guys are fat rejects and blah 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 blah. And I was like, wow, you have some balls to say that with like 4 people in the room. I was like, what if we just jumped you? Like, we weren't gonna do that, but like, what if we did? And then one of my friends were just like, I know you want to call us the N word. Just do it, do it, do it. Oh, it was so bad. She didn't do it though. But I was like, she probably wanted to, but yeah. So that was, and then after that, the next day, all her stuff was gone. Oh, it was so peaceful. It was so nice. And then I had the room for the rest of the semester. But yeah, you guys ever? I feel like, because I remember we were like going through like the tier list with my friends on who had the worst roommate, and it was probably between me and my other friend. But like my roommate was just like really toxic. But like her, like my other friend's roommate, she was like toxic, but not in like the same way my roommate was. She was just dirty. Like she would keep trash in her bed, and she was like she would like go to parties all the time, and like, yeah, she was a wreck. And then one of my other friends, his roommate, he actually had to switch rooms because his roommate was, he was doing some things. He would like, yeah, he'd be like, oh, I actually need you to get out the room for tonight. And then he would have like guys over, and yeah, whatever you think happened, happened. That's all I'm gonna say. So yeah, we probably like had the worst. And then like my other friends, like I don't think any of my friends were friends with their roommates besides one. And she was like really like well actually we were all friends with her sweet mate. Her sweet mate was awesome. The other sweet mate, I low key I understand why she didn't really like us, because like my friend's room, so since she didn't have a roommate, her dorm was the hangout room, and like we would just be so loud for like unreasonable amounts of time. So I low key get why she didn't really like mess with us like that, you know? And people are just like, I don't understand why she doesn't like us. What do you mean you don't understand? She has a 6 a.m. class, and y'all are screaming to the top of your lungs on a Monday, and it's like 3 a.m. So I could see why she doesn't like y'all. I think it's just like a like being inconsiderate. But yeah, that was my crazy freshman roommate story. Luckily, the roommates I have now is like great. One of them is like my friend, and then the other one is just like the other two, they're fine. I don't really like, I talk to them sometimes, but like not like too much. But yeah, we didn't really have like any sort of like drama or anything like that. If anything, there was like other drama that didn't have to do with us. But yeah, I don't want to say people's business on the internet. But yeah. Anyway, that was like this. Well, my sophomore year, like the living situation was way better, and plus we have our own rooms because it's like apartment style. So like so much better than like sharing a room with someone that you like despise, and you're in like this. So many. Yeah, honestly, yeah. But I honestly, like for me, I don't think that she was like my friends were like she was the worst, and I was like she was bad, but I just felt like there's much worse. Oh my gosh, my foot is cramping. Oh, my foot is cramping so bad. Hold on. Oh my gosh, I feel like I need to drink some water, or like I don't know. I just feel like there was like way worse roommate situations that I would have actually moved out with, like moved out of my dorm. Like if somebody, like if my roommate was like uh someone who like partied, and like not like they left, but like they brought the party to the dorm, no, I would have left. Or like if somebody was like my other friends where like he would just bring guys over and he would just like do the do. I would have left too. And I would have put you on blast, because what? There's no way. It's just like I feel like that is just so like inconsiderate. And I feel like a lot of the guys who do that, from a lot of the guy friends that I had, that I heard about, like how their roommate would just be like, yeah, can you like leave for the night? You know, I have a girl coming, or I have a guy coming. And I was like, that, and you left. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of egging on. I was like, what if they use your bed? And he's like, no. And I was like, you're not there. I was like, he's like, no, like they wouldn't. I was like, they're willing to do that. Like, and the shared space is not that big. Like, literally, I could take 2 steps and touch their bed. So it's just like, yeah. So some of my friends is like, I don't want to be in your room. Like, I just know the air is thick and gross. Like, no, thank you. So yeah, that was kind of like my college horror story. I feel like that was probably the most eventful thing though. It's like the roommate that I had, my foot is cramping so bad. I don't know if you guys have ever had like a really bad foot cramp, but like it's like doing the most right now. I feel like I need to feed my. Let me add some water because it's getting dry again. But see, this is kind of why I want to start like doing live streams during like um oh yes. Period. We love that. Cause okay, like even this story time, I feel like I want to live stream during like the school year, cause then you guys will know all, well, not all the tea, but like just kind of like the things that are going on in college, if it's like worth your time, if people, because I feel like I have a lot of people who are deciding on whether they want to go to college, like art school or college in general, and I can just kind of tell you if it's like worth your time or not. But also, I don't go to like a college where it's like a prestigious art school, because that's like what, $80,000. That's crazy. I refuse to be like tied down to debt, so I just picked an in-state college that I know that will give me like a lot of funding and has like an art program. And there was no like entrance to like um what's it called? Exactly, 80,000. Yeah, that's why I didn't even like cuz I remember my grandma, she was like telling me, she's like, "Oh, like she kind of felt like that I cut myself short by not even applying." And I was like, "I didn't apply because there's I have like a mental threshold of how much I'm willing to spend on college and what I'm not willing to spend. And I knew if I went there, I would have to take out like a ton of loans, and I'm like, absolutely not. No. I was like, there's no way I'm gonna take out $80,000 worth of loans, and then like as if there's not like YouTube University. Like I learned a lot of cool art stuff on YouTube. So I was like, yeah, that's not happening. I think what's good about the like prestigious ones are like your connections, but also I forgot, I was watching this YouTube video about someone who went to like a prestigious college. I can't remember what exactly they were saying, but yeah, exactly. It's just like then you're like tied down to the government forever because like you owe all this money, and they're gonna garnish your. You're like, no, there's like no way I'm gonna spend that amount of money. Um, but what was I saying? Oh, so basically, wait, I don't even remember. I like lost my train of thought. School fees, ASU. Um, wow, I can't. I just like it just like flew away. Like, what was it? What was I thinking about? Um, I don't like. I can't remember. I feel like I was cooking too. What was it? This is about to make me upset. Hmm. I know I was talking about the price of things, and then cutting myself short because I didn't apply to like a prestigious. Oh, I remember. Okay, so I was watching someone who was talking about who went to a prestigious art school, but I can't remember exactly what they said, but they were saying something along the lines of how it's kind of like they felt like they were competing with everyone, and since um, I guess they were saying that it's low key a little bit more beneficial that you go to something that isn't a prestigious school. Well, it was kind of their take, but I just think it's an interesting take. Um, Basically because they were saying that like every job that they tried to apply to, it was like someone who either they went to school with, they were like a professor, they were, so it's like if you don't have a good reputation at that so called like school or college, the unlikeliness of you getting a job is like slim. And also since usually those people also know a lot of people, so it's um I guess sometimes in that way it's kind of easy to make a bad like impression, especially if like some professors are kind of tied down in their ways of how they think art should be done and things like that. So let's say that you go to like Cal Arts and you have like an Etsy or something. And then your professor is like, well, I think people who have Etsy's are not real artists. And you're like, well, I disagree. Now you kind of put a bad taste in that person's like mouth, and they're like, well, I'm gonna make sure that they don't get into this industry and stuff like that. So I think that's what they were trying to get at there. But I don't know, I just think that, and I think that's pretty like valid. I don't like when people try to put it makes no sense how they're just like artists shouldn't be in a box, but then like when you talk to people who do art, they try to put artists in a box. That like makes no sense. Like if like my professor were to say, "Oh, you shouldn't have like a website or this and that to sell your art," why not? Like why would you just confine yourself to a gallery space when you have the internet that can reach millions of people? Millions of people can't reach the gallery, but millions of people can reach your website or your page or their views on exactly. It's just like weird, and I feel like at some point it's like low-key like projecting, because you know people, if they struggled, they low-key want other people to struggle, which is like low-key okay. I'm being a hypocrite because okay, so in at my school they built new dorms for the art students, right? And I was like, what? And this is for like incoming, so like freshmen. I was like, and it's so nice. It's like right next to the art building and stuff like that. And I was like, no way. I was like, I had to stay at these rundown dorms that was like a 30-minute walk from all of my classes, and I had to carry all my stuff. I was like, I had to suffer freshman year. I was like, and now they don't have to suffer freshman year? I was like, it's crazy. But I think, honestly, so our art program at my school is getting pretty big, but I wouldn't necessarily say for fine art. I think they're building the art because there's a lot of people that are going into animation, um, film, and probably photography because they're all under like the art school. So that's what I kind of think it's for. Yeah, that's what I think it's for. Because even like, um, when you go to like the little they change stuff, right? Exactly. Luckily, I'm still there, but like even like my brother, he was part of the animation program, and he said that their animation program when he first started wasn't that good, but now that it's getting better, because they've noticed the incline of like people who want to take animation, they've made it better, and they even built them a whole new building. And my brother only got to use it for 1 year, so I was like, maybe it was a good thing I took a gap year. But also, I'm like, dang, like I missed it on the new doors. But I guess that's fine. I'm in upper division housing now, so it's like this paint is drying really fast. Hold on. But yeah, now that he's out of college, he didn't really get to experience like the new building the way that he could have. Let me see. Was there? I feel like there was something. Yeah, I just think it like kind of sucks a little bit. And he was saying that there were some things that he felt like he should have learned in his first like year or two in animation, but he didn't learn until like his last year. I don't really know too much about animation, so I don't really know the terminology of some of the things. Exactly. It's like you spent all this money and you didn't even get to experience what other people get to experience. So it's just kind of like, and even like there's this person at my job that they're also an animation student and they're like a junior like I am. Like I'm going into my junior and they're going into their, I don't know if they're going into their junior or senior. Let me think. I feel like it's junior, but I'm not sure. Um, Basically, they were talking about how there's certain classes that they can't take now because of how they restructured the animation program to make it like better. But now there's like different qualifications for classes. But I do think if they just ask an advisor, they could probably just get an override instead of like doing the like steps now, because it's a little bit too late for those who have already taken certain classes and for them to change the whole program around and say, oh, you actually need to take this class before you take it. It's kind of crazy. So yeah, I do think like honestly, like as far as like the fine arts, we haven't really gotten like to wait. Yeah, as far as like, cause like people are like, oh, it's beeping. Okay, okay, maybe I should be a good mother and like feed them. I'm pretty sure they're hungry. I can't let them die. That would be crazy if like if they died on stream. That'd be crazy. I'd be pretty sad actually. Let me not give them a snack, like a meal. Like, see? Wait, I don't know if y'all can see it. And then I have a choice to give it like a snack or a meal. But see, my little Pookie Wazuki is big back, so I gotta feed it like a couple of times. Okay, yeah, they're eating. I honestly think, but also they might just want attention, and I feel like they're not gonna get attention right now. But no, okay, listen, I am feeding. Like, actually, matter of fact, I'm giving them a snack. But yeah, I fed them like 3 times. Like, I think they're full. There we go. I'll probably have to give them attention like a little later, and I'll play a game with them. But what was I saying? Oh yeah, as far as like the fine arts, like they low key. Ooh, maybe. Hold on. It's like my cat. Oh, he's fat. You know, my brother sent a what was it? He sent me a TikTok about the difference when like a dog asks for food, but um versus like a cat, and it was like a dog be like, "Can you please feed me?" And you tell him like hold on, and be like, "Okay, yeah, I can wait." But like a cat be like, "Feed me now," and you tell him hold on, and be like, "Oh, so I'm just gonna have to eat you then," since they be acting like that they're like dying. It's crazy. The way they'll just like meow at you is crazy. And the dog just be like, yeah, I'll wait. Oh yeah, okay, but for like college, like they're making so much more for like the school of art at my school. But I be trying to tell people like it's not really for like the fine arts, it's for like animation, like the new building that they built, right? It is for animation, photography, film. I feel like there's another major, but I can't. Exactly. No, I. Mm-mm. I would be so mad at my cat, like so mad. Like we have a cat here, but the cat's not mine, so like the cat bothers other people and not me because I don't feed the cat. Like, but he has a personality. Like I'll like be talking and he'll be like no 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 no. I'll be like oh wow you're a yapper. Very opinionated. Yes. And then my dog, right? So like the more like so we have like a pen for him like at night so he just doesn't go around in the room eating things that he shouldn't eat. Because I don't know, sometimes you'll like find things. I'm like, where did you find that at? he had this like little, it was like an arts and craft little like ball, sparkly ball thing. I'm like, where did you find that from? Like, give me that. But yeah, he'll like go up on his pin and look to see if we're awake, and be like, they're not awake. Okay, let me sit down. Let me wait a little longer. I'm like, okay. And low key, I'm awake. I just don't feel like getting up because sometimes he gets up early. I was like, sir, it is 6 a.m. Like, sometimes I'll just like sit there and I'll just like hope that he doesn't realize that I'm awake. And then it just kind of works out. Exactly. So he's so like considerate sometimes. Sometimes he's not. Sometimes he's like, hey, like, usually it's because he needs to go outside, but usually about like food, he's kind of like okay about that because usually once we take him outside, we feed him immediately. But like a cat, no, I like my brother's cat. She does too much. Like even when I was driving her around, she's like meow, meow, meow. I'm like, oh no, like you're really killing me. You're doing a lot right now. Oh yeah, but back to like the arts and art school and the new building. I can't remember what the other like um floor it is, but each floor is dedicated for each the sassy. Yes, it is. Like so sassy. Um but each floor is for like each major, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, this is so nice." Like they haven't even like touched like the fine arts building, and they've even added like math classes in the fine arts building. It's like y'all don't care about us. How about you add another painting class? Because there's like people, some of my friends didn't get into the painting classes because they're all taken. So it's just like y'all like get it together. I think even our ventilations in the building is like, mm, it's questionable. I'll say it's pretty questionable. Um, I I don't know. It's just like even like the type of, let me not say that. That's kind of crazy. But I don't know. I just think that they should do a little more for the like fine arts students. Like even our like elevator, I get scared because it's broken on some people a couple of times like before class, and that's like my worst fear, getting stuck in an elevator. I would never be able to recover. I would be a stair person forever after something like that happened. And for it to be stuck on like people that I know is like kind of crazy. It's like, and then to still take the elevator at that too. At that point, I'm taking the stairs. Exactly. I would just do the stairs. But sometimes it's like it can be like hard to do the stairs when you have like a bunch of stuff in your hands and like you're already weighed down, and I think the art building's like 5 floors. So if your class is on like the 5th floor or the 4th floor, and you don't have anyone to help you open up those heavy doors. But yeah, I just know like if I ever got stuck in one of those, I'm never taking the elevator ever again. And even like the ceramic room, you gotta take that risk. Even like the ceramic room, it's like under it's like a lower level, and then like for whatever reason they have like stairs instead of like, I feel like they should have a ramp. They have like steep stairs, and it's just like, I remember my professor, she was saying how difficult it is to like carry things that are super heavy down like steep stairs to get to the ceramic room, especially if you can't fit it in the elevator. So like that's also like a design flaw. It's like who did this and why? And then we have like, I don't know, I just feel like some of our classes need like bigger spaces. Like for example, we have some classes in like what we call the warehouse. And low key it looks like a warehouse. It looks crazy. It's like, guys, like come on, like y'all are making so much because my school accepts anybody. So like I just know they're making a bag. And I don't know if every school does this, but like increasing tuition every year is just like madness. And the price of yeah, they should make Exactly. They should make it like more accessible. Like I don't know, some of the classes are just like, guys, like what are we doing? And even like some of the professors they've been there for years. They're like, oh yeah, the building hasn't changed. Like it's been like this since I've started. And I was like, that is crazy. And you've been here for 20 years, like. But I think also that I'm not sure because I feel like some of the older buildings, uh, I can't even remember the names. They're much worse than the art building, so maybe I shouldn't be complaining. I don't really know. Maybe it's for like the communication students. Like that's how I felt about my dorm. Like I thought we were in the worst dorms, and then I went to like one of my friends. She's like a business major. I went to her dorms, and they have communal bathrooms. And I was like, no way, no way. There's communal bathrooms still. And the icing on top of that too, her floor was co-ed. So I remember I was like, at her, I didn't really go to her dorm that often because I was like, no, like, no. There was like a guy and he was like wrapped around the towel and I was like, this, I was like, where's your, like, I was like, the towel could fall. And then like a free show for everyone. Like, no, no. Yeah, I was like appalled. I think there's like 2 dorms that have like, exactly. It's like, who in the world decided to make this co-ed and why is it like, because I think that was the only floor that was co-ed and all the other ones were like, it'd have like guys or like girls on the floor or something like that. And then, yeah, I don't know why they did that. So I just thought that was strange. And I was, for people who were spending that much on college, it just made no sense for people to, I guess, like spend that much on college and then be in like a co-ed bathroom. Not the bathroom was a co-ed, my fault. But like a co-ed floor and then communal bathrooms. And you're spending the same amount of money as like someone who has not. Well, the dorms have different prices, but I feel like the prices are not that significant compared to like, I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. Like $1,000 is significant, but it's not. It's not that significant when you're talking about college. So like, for example, the dorms that have communal bathrooms will probably be 1,000 less than like the nicest dorms on campus, which makes no sense. I feel like the only time you really see like large prices increase is for things such as like uh how many roommates you have. So like the more roommates you have, the cheaper the price is, and the less roommates you have, the more it is. So they have some dorms where you can just have like your own like apartment style, so like your own room, bathroom, kitchen. But I think that's like, I feel like it was like 20,000 a semester or something like crazy like that. Cause I for my dorms, I believe I spent 10,000 a semester. Wait, does a cat count? No, they don't count. There's plenty of people that have cats in their dorms. There's some people who have dogs and stuff too. I remember there was this one girl who was like, she was like complaining that her, uh, yeah, I just think that oh yeah, she was like complaining about like one of her roommates had like fish, right? And I was like, Loki, I was like, oh, that's kind of dope. They have fish. Like, I don't know. I just think fish are like decoration, but they had fish, and she was like, oh, like, I think she just felt like it was really dirty to have fish in the room. 2 of the boxes. Ooh, these boxes are kind of heavy. I'm about to end the stream pretty soon anyway, because my phone is about to die. Okay. Oh yeah. So she had fish, and I thought the fish were pretty cool. And I was like, dang, like, I don't know. I just thought it was really cool. And I thought she was kind of just complaining just to complain. Because I was telling her, she was like, oh, could you tell her, like, for her to get rid of her fish tank? And I was like, I can't tell her that. I was like, you kind of have to, like, have some sort of agreement with your roommates. But also you have to be, like, kind of reasonable. And I just felt like she was being really unreasonable. Because it's like, the fish did nothing to you. Like, what is wrong with the fish? But also, I think she's a little bit of like a neat freak, and I was like, okay, I was like, you live with 4 other people or 3 other people, and like you guys kind of have to come to some sort of like agreement or like cohesion, because it can't just be it can't just be about like everything you want in the dorm or everything with exactly the fish did nothing to you, like. And I was like, I feel like I was probably the wrong person to be talking about it, because like I was like, I like animals when they're not mine. So I was like, I don't really see the issue. Like the fish tank was clean. Like I don't know. I'd have a blast. I'd be like, wow, like your fish are so cool. I don't know. I just think it would be so entertaining for me. But yeah. Anyway, y'all, I'm about to end stream because my phone's about to die. But I might like go live tomorrow or later on today, depending on what I'm doing. But anyway, peace, y'all. Thank y'all for watching, and make sure you like and subscribe, and I'll see y'all later.